Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be going over another one of the unique items that was in Diablo 1 that eventually got pulled back over into Diablo 2 for the next game. This is a Bastard Sword at 6 to 15 damage with a durability of 60. And as far as I remember, Bastard Sword I think is one of the highest single-target, or single-handed weapons in the game, base-wise. Requires 50 strength. And it is known as a Doombringer. Now, you guys remember Doombringer from Diablo 2, right? Well, this was the predecessor to the Diablo 2 Doombringer. This one has a chance to hit of 25%, which is actually not half bad for like the uniques, as uniques go, because most of the uniques tend to have no chance to hit or negative chance to hit. It has a massive 250% enhanced damage, which is redonkulous, which brings the damage up to 21 to 52, which is really good. It does have some negatives on it, though. It has -5 to all attributes, which is pretty bad, because that gives you negative damage, negative magic, negative 2-hit chance, and negative life with your vitality. It also gives you -25 hit points, which is going to reduce me from 70 to 35, which is pretty damn bad, especially considering I lose vitality as well, so it's even more than 25. It also gives -20% light radius, which might not necessarily be a negative, because apparently I was looking into it, and negative light radius also I think has a positive of not aggroing as many monsters. It doesn't really matter all that much, positive or negative light radius. Like, you can see further, a little bit further, or you can not see a little bit further, but the overall atmosphere of the game is pretty much unchanged. It's still kind of a dark game, and like, it's not like it makes it impossible to see, just a little bit less to see. Overall, Doombringer's kind of an impressive weapon. The main issue is that it doesn't have enough chance to hit to really be useful later on, and the negative stats can be kind of crippling, especially early on in the game when you don't have a lot of stats. As you can see, that life going from 70 to 35 life is pretty awful. Although this would probably be an item that you would find later on, because the base type, as far as I know, Bastard Sword isn't available until like later on in normal difficulty anyway. So you're probably not going to find this until your HP is much higher, and the overall negative effect isn't that bad. However, because of the lack of really good plus 2-hit chance on the weapon, you're going to need 2-hit chance rings or amulets to make up for the loss of 2-hit on the weapon itself. But it does have a really nice damage output, and I think that's the main benefit of this particular item. It doesn't really have any increased attack speed, though, which still puts it kind of under the weather in terms of like versus a King's Bastard Sword of Haste, for example, which doesn't have as much plus damage on it, but does have, well, at least 2-hit chance, and also has a much faster attack speed. So it's definitely one of those weapons that sort of competes with the King's Sword of Haste, but I think in the end of the day, the King's Sword of Haste I think is still technically better, although it does do pretty good damage. Once you have a large enough amount of strength and you get a pretty decent bonus as far as damage is concerned, you're going to notice that this weapon really smacks hard. It's going to hit really hard. Let's check and see how much damage or how much money it sells for.
Oh, what can I do for you?
4,562, so not the most amazing item in the game, but it's okay. It doesn't have a unique graphic when you drop it on the ground or anything, and I'm not entirely sure that's a unique graphic at all. I think that's just the standard Bastard Sword look, isn't it? Or maybe I'm wrong. Yeah. You definitely wouldn't want to put this on a sorcerer, though. I'll tell you that much. The -25 health and the -5 attributes. Sorcerer doesn't really have much HP to begin with, and like you throw this on a sorcerer early on, sorcerer is going to be in the negative HP. I mean, if a warrior with 70 at base level is is brought down to 35, oh man, frickin' sorcerer probably goes down into the negative HP points at early levels. It's gonna be pretty rough. Not that you generally go around beating things with a sword on your sorcerer, but it's definitely important to take note of those things. And some characters just generally don't really work very well with certain weapons, especially early on. And the Doombringer seems like one of those weapons that would probably be absolutely horrible for a sorcerer early on, but not like the worst thing in the world for a warrior running around one donk and everything with your 250% increased damage. 2152 is actually not bad for a very under-leveled warrior. Obviously, the interesting thing about the Diablo 2 version is that the Diablo 2 version doesn't take away your life, it actually gives you life. In fact, if I remember correctly, the Doombringer in Diablo 2, they flipped they flipped the script on it, and it went to a really high HP weapon, as opposed to one that reduces your HP. So I wonder why they decided to change that with the Diablo 2 version. It's interesting. You can find this one in single player and multiplayer. It's not a quest item, so it's just a random drop that happens. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a quality level 19 item. I think, is that level 19? I think, which means you have to be at least in an area that's like level 19 or higher for it to fall. I think that's pretty much it. Diablo 1 Doombringer, and the sunlight is coming in and like just glowing on me right now. It's hilarious. Anyway, as always, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button if you enjoy the content. It's fun going over these Diablo 1 items, and this is my full-time job, so you know it helps me out if you wanna help me out. And as always, keep watching.